Guys, welcome back. We've got our top four match here from the Aussie Collectibles Set Chance. Happened a couple of weeks ago now. I've been a bit slack getting these videos out, but we're finally here and going to hopefully pick up the content a little bit in the next week or two before the new set comes out. And speaking of which, there is a survey out to have your say about some of the newest cards. I'll put the link down in the description below. You can fill out the form and rank all of your favorite cards from the new set, which we'll go over in a future video. So be sure to fill that one out and have your say. Now let's get into our top four match. Going to be a bit of an outdated format now since we're all looking towards set 7, but still good to see as a lot of these decks will stay the same with just a couple of new inclusions. So definitely still going to be useful to see these games play out, as we see Nathan on the right playing with Ruby Sapphire. Definitely going to be a strong contender yet again next set, I would imagine. And then Greg on the left with Emerald Amethyst there. Going to get rid of all 7 here, so probably looking for that one drop. Maybe already knows what Nathan's playing. We'll be trying to search for that cursed merfolk for turn 1. I believe Greg was top seed, so we'll be choosing to go first here. It'll be interesting to see how Nathan combats against this aggressive start from Greg potentially, whether he prioritizes those Super Goof and Maui Hero to all. Just shuffling up here before we get into it. Alrighty, let's get stuck in. So it looks like he's found that one drop in the Diablo, and then has that uninkable 6-cost Hades there. So probably not what you want to see this early on, but definitely a good card in this matchup, specifically being able to sort of combat against that Be Prepared from the Ruby Sapphire decks. Potentially having quite a significant downside to it as well. May need something like a Let It Go first before playing that Be Prepared. Pretty good turn 1 here for Nathan. Going to get the Porpskull down, draw a card. You see, Greg does have the turn 2 Ursula here, but might want to hold on to it maybe until turn 3 when Nathan might potentially be playing at How Far I'll Go. He's just going to jump straight into it here. So tough choice here. I imagine he will go for the Pirate's Life here. Since Nathan does already have the Maui Half Shark in hand, the Be Prepared is not going to be as powerful since Nathan won't want to get rid of his own Maui Half Shark. Yep, so we do see the Pirate's Life go here. Bit of a tough choice, but I think that's correct. I think Greg always was going to be questing and leaving the broom here, so not wanting to banish it. So otherwise you would normally want to quest first just in case you do decide to banish it and draw a card after seeing Nathan's hand. But I think given the matchup he knows he's up against, he's always going to be wanting to keep that on the board to add that wall pressure. Now, we did see Nathan had the double sail in hand, so he's going to have quite a bit of ramp and going to probably get into that turn 4 Maui Half Shark. I always like seeing an Ursula or a Diablo Maleficent Spire come down. Means you can see the hand of the players. Makes it a bit easier. And Greg got a bit of questing power here on the board. If it doesn't have a good 3 cost here, might just have to play the Diablo and potentially banish to draw and see what he gets. Well, maybe he does have a 3 drop in his hand. And I'm just going to go for the Diablo. Probably should have played the Diablo first, just so he could choose a different option to ink potentially, since the goats are quite good in this matchup. But the library is also quite good, so potentially not punished there for Greg, but I think you always play the Diablo first just so you can see what you draw in case you get a card you're happier to ink than the goat. So another sail coming down here from Nathan. Develop your brain, so you're going to be able to ink once more here. Go up to 5, and then next turn can go to 6 to play the Half Shark and sort of put a halt to Greg's board here. Might even have a Tipo here. No, just going to be a pass. So at 5 next turn, they can get the half shark for 6. Now, interestingly, that the crab was inked there. Doesn't quite need it until next turn, since the half shark will come down and then can play the genie next turn and have that threat of challenge a 3 onto it to take out the Maori half shark. And Nathan does have quite a lot of good actions in the discard now, especially that Pirate's Life. So Greg probably won't want to be questing too much into the half shark that'll come down this turn. Ink the Porpsicle, so not really many good options to ink for Nathan, potentially. Imagine we'll see the genie come down for Greg here. Just put that pressure on of potentially having that crab. The library, yeah, I'm not going to quest here. Can't really give Nathan the option of having that cycle of the Pirate's Life. It looks like we have a How Far I'll Go, which I imagine you'll sing here. So going to get a lore from the shark. Does also have a Fluttershy in hand, I believe, so it does have potential for some draw power. Yep, I see that come down now. Maybe look for some more of those cycling actions. Yep, so going to get a lore from the Develop Your Brain. We'll exert the ink as well. Potentially even something like a mana coming down next turn with the shark in play could be quite good for Nathan. Unfortunately, Emerald and Amethyst don't have great ways to deal with this Maori half shark unless Greg were to find a crab this turn, but if that half shark doesn't exert and doesn't really have any good options to remove it, so we do see the Peter Pan here, which is actually a good option to take it out from nowhere. But yeah, that's why I didn't really like to see the crab be inked from Greg earlier on, as having the crab here as an option would be quite good, but we do know that the Be Prepared is in hand here for Nathan, so if that shark were to get removed, you probably... Oh, does that beat us anyway? Oh, and then we see the Hades come down, so huge quest up to 10. If a Be Prepared were to come down, then Greg would get 8 additional lore. So whilst the Pirate's Life, when it's played, does make Greg lose 2, in order to get it back, Nathan will have to give Greg 2 lore by banishing a character. Very strong card here, definitely. And Nathan, having already inked a Let It Go, means he might have some difficulty finding another one to remove this Hades. I think even so, taking out this genie is probably important. No, Let It Go at the moment. Does have a Pirate's Life though, so potentially Pirate's Life and challenge to take out the genie, then get the Pirate's Life back. Greg will still be questing for a lot, but if he decides to quest with the Hades, then Nathan can take it out. So it's going to be quite tricky, as you don't really want to be challenging into these characters. So potentially may just sing the Pirate's Life here, but I think seeing another Maui come down would be quite good as well. That way you can sort of just put the pressure on. Seeing Pirate's Life go up to 6, break down to 8. Yeah, I think you got to grab the Pirate's Life here. Unfortunately, I don't believe Nathan has a Porpsicle here. He's just going to sing. So already has Pirate's Life in hand, so probably doesn't need it just yet. Just wanting to ramp more ink to get these characters in play. Look for that Let It Go. Pretty sure Nathan plays 2. But unfortunately, now for Nathan, doesn't have that Porpskull to heal off this Maui. So something that could happen next turn is something like a Peter Pan into the Maui, followed by a Go-Go, would be enough. And in fact, doesn't even need the rush. Even something like a Goat and a Bounce plus Quest for 6, go to 18. So Nathan probably needs to play the Pirate's Life here, just so then Greg's only out is a Peter Pan followed by a Go-Go. That's sort of the power of this Hades here is you sort of, yep, so there we go. We're going to play the Pirate's Life, hit 3, and then Greg go back down to 10. So now something like that Peter Pan and Go-Go is the only win con next turn for Greg. Which we know he has the Peter Pan, but does he have the Go-Go in hand? I don't think I've seen it be inked yet. So he might just have it in hand. No, that looks like a lot of Amethyst cards. So fortunately for Nathan, Greg won't be able to win this turn, as far as I can tell. Could get up to 17 here. So maybe we might play the library, Diablo in, or just a genie. Oh, and there's the Go-Go. So one card of winning for Greg there. But I think he's still looking like he's in a very good spot. This Diablo can trade into the Flavisham. We'll get 2 lore. Nope, just going to quest for 3. I think this is a good play here. You're sort of questing for 5 next turn, even if your whole board gets cleared from the exerted characters. And Go-Go will just get 2. So, ooh, so I might even just take out the Shark here. No, just going to put them both in play. I mean, Nathan can't be prepared this board. He will just lose unless he pairs it with a Let It Go. He's probably just going to be trying to dig for that. So something like a Singing Let It Go followed by Be Prepared will keep him in the game and in a reasonably good spot, since Greg won't be able to use that Go-Go to get that instant lore, since the Maui will be banished as well. I reckon Nathan's probably thinking, shouldn't have inked that Let It Go now. Definitely one of the only cards that can really work against this Hades here. Definitely a close game here. So interestingly decides to take out the Diablo. Probably the Ursula would have been the better option, as yeah, I mean, taking out the Ursula would have been good because then you get put to 3 and you can't get put to 4 because the Peter Pan and Genie that would potentially challenge into you when you're at 2 to go to 4 would banish the Maui. So I don't think it matters in the end, since Greg does have quite a lot of question power on board. So Nathan just going to concede that one there. And man, that Hades coming in super strong in that game. So not something we normally see in these decks, but a very cool combo, making it very difficult for these Ruby decks to clear the whole board. So Nathan probably going to be holding on to those Let It Goes a little bit more tightly than last game. He will be going first, so sort of work against this aggressive start that Greg might have. So let's get into the next game and see if Hades can put in as much work again. So we see our players setting up here. Let's see what the hands have to offer. We do see the Let It Go in hand for Nathan. It will be interesting to see if he decides to hold on to it. You probably don't need to hold on to it in the mulligan, since it's going to be at least 6 turns before Greg gets it out, and you do have a lot of sort of sifting through your deck with cards like Develop Your Brain, Vision of the Future, How Far I'll Go. So we'll just decide to put that one back and potentially try and find some more ramp and card draw. Didn't quite get a good look at Greg's hand there. A few sort of good later game cards like that Elsa and Rabbit, but Greg knows he needs to find sort of a more aggressive start. Find some of those one drops that let him draw cards. And also that Ursula Deceiver to try and take those songs out of Nathan's hand that help him ramp and remove Greg's Law. Definitely seems like a tricky matchup for Ruby Sapphire, not having, good options to target down the Hades, and also not really, getting quite punished by this Ursula being able to be bounced back and remove songs. So you can't even hold on to them after the Maui Half Shark brings them back from the discard. So game number 2 here, Nathan will be going first. Ooh, we do see that Maui's hook will be inked straight away. Not too many evasive sort of characters you need to be worrying about, and the ones that are evasive, Maui Half Shark can deal with pretty efficiently. It can be quite useful for locations with that Maui here at all, being able to rush in and get some extra strength to take them out. You do see that Peter Pan here for Grey. The crab, and does have a nice one drop here in that Merfolk. Pretty sure Nathan has a Tipo here. We'll ink a Tipo and play another Tipo, so it does have a character on the board that will be able to take out the Merfolk next turn. Will come at the price of a card in his hand though, and going first, he's already going to have less cards. Looks like that Go-Go is in hand. Just going to go for the Ursula again. No songs, unfortunately, in Nathan's hand at the moment. Possibly the right turn for Greg to go in there. Just make sure that Nathan doesn't have something like a How Far I'll Go, which you could hard cast next turn. But I do always sort of prefer holding on to the Ursula maybe a little bit longer, just until Nathan's got something like a Singer. Because if he has to hard cast How Far I'll Go, it's not too bad. It means he does get out that turn for Maui. Ooh, he's just going to brawl here, so now he's free to quest with the Tipo. Just decides to hold it, so similar sort of play from challenging in with the Tipo, since you are still a card down. But now you do have the Tipo not exerted, so it can't be challenged by the Ursula at least. So we're going to see the Maui Half Shark come in. Now we see the power of Greg's deck with the Emerald and Amethyst combination, having two characters that sort of help when your own characters are banished. Things like the Hades and the Lyle Tiberius Raw. So not going to want to exert his characters here. Now again, Nathan's got to be careful here with exerting this Maui, since the Genie can take it out with a crab to help. Even something like a Sir Hiss and a Peter Pan work pretty well. You're still trading 5 ink for 6 ink, so you are down a card, so a bit of a loss on the card advantage, but still a pretty good trade considering how powerful this Maui Half Shark is. Yep, so Nathan actually going to exert the Maui here, so just sort of hoping that Greg doesn't have that crab in hand, which we did see him ink turn 1, so that could either indicate to Nathan that he has another one in hand, or now it's less likely that he has one in hand, because there's one more in the ink. Ooh, looks like a Hades again for Greg here. Looks like we might just see another 4-drop draw with the Genie potentially. If he does play the Genie here, at least next turn he does have enough strength to take out the Maui with that Peter Pan. Nathan will lose 3 law in the process as well. Nathan potentially wanting to get a Be Prepared down this turn. Since if he doesn't get it down this turn, then Greg can go turn 6 Hades and then almost shutting the door on that for Nathan. All right, Nathan, that's a third how far I'll go. So, unfortunately for Greg, didn't have any in the opening hand when he played the Ursula, but now it's drawn into three of them. Sort of running ahead on the law. So, Lyle might put in a bit of work here. Oh, and the mana. Pretty well timed for Nathan here. Interesting to see. Looks like it's just going to be a Hades. I'm going to start putting the pressure on now. Wonder if he should have quest with the Lyle. I guess we could see something like a Brawl come in, so maybe it was worth it. And I guess if the Lyle's getting taken out, then the genies get to stick around. And then you're questing for 8 next turn. Yep, so we see Nathan did find the Let It Go there, so he should go into the Inkwell. Yep, good pick up there for Nathan. So Nathan, learning from game 1, has held on to the Let It Go. Because the Hades was put into the Inkwell and not banished, the Lyle will not trigger. Alrighty, Nathan, just thinking about his next play here. I probably need to start challenging into some of these characters. Yep, so we're going to take out the Lyle. Does mean that Gogo could come in for 4 now, though. We got that Brawl to get rid of a genie. We'll gain another Law, and looking pretty good here for Nathan. Managed to deal with that board very well. Oh, did you see the Goofy? So Goofy a little bit earlier would have been quite a good play since it would have been able to give ward to the Hades. And a Banzai, so Nathan going to need something like a Be Prepared to get rid of that Goofy. Or wait until it exerts, but we'll be questing for 7 next turn. Go up to 16, but that Hades getting removed that turn really sort of slowed Greg down enough where I think Nathan could come back into this game now, since next turn we'll go up to 17 just on the board, and then 3 actions. Means that it will be his game. So Nathan is going to want to be looking for those actions now. And even something like a Pirate's Life, which I'm not sure if he has in the discard just yet. Here we go, we're going to look here. Yep, no Pirate's Life, but get something like that, develop your brain back, means he could search deeper for some actions. Would be nice to see what he has in his hand here, as I imagine he's pretty close. Just needs 3 actions. Can use that develop your brain from the discard to search for more as well. However, if Nathan challenges in to the genie, he could lose next turn. Come on, Nathan, give us a look at the hand. So it looks like he probably doesn't have any actions in his hand to dig just yet. It'll be interesting to see what he gets here. Does he go for the Let It Go, so he has a chance to not lose next turn, or does he dig with the Develop Your Brain to try and go for game this turn? Looks like he has a Hideaway, so there's 1. And then a Maui Half Shark. So would that not have done it? Maui Half Shark, grab Develop Your Brain. Quest for 16. Yeah, so I think he's actually got it in hand. So let's see if Nathan sees it here. And play the Maui Half Shark, grab Develop Your Brain from the discard, play it to go to 16, play the Hideaway on his own location, go to 18, then quest for 2 to 20. I think he still has it here with the Let It Go anyway. But I'm not sure if he has enough ink is the question. Go to 16, Maui Half Shark. Yeah, might not have enough ink to do that though. Is there the concern? Yeah, and definitely not now with the Flabsham. So I think Nathan did have the game. He's going to let go onto his own Maui. So good play here from Nathan, making sure that the Go-Go won't be able to come in and get a huge amount of lore. And, I think Nathan did have the game, but fortunately he was in a good enough spot where it didn't matter. So Greg going to be scooping that one up. Yeah, so Nathan just asking there if he had the Go-Go in hand, because if he left the Maui in play, that would have lost him the game. So very good play there from Nathan. We just see holding on to that let it go for the right moment, definitely crucial in this matchup. So Nathan adjusted very well there. So let's go into the next and final game. Greg will be going first to see who takes it down. Now, if you're enjoying the video so far, please be sure to like, subscribe so when you know when the next videos come out. We've got a lot of new and exciting content coming up in the next couple of weeks before Set 7 Arcasia's Island. Let's get into the next game. So here we are, the final game of our top 4 match. Greg going first in this one since he lost the last game, and looks like he does have that turn 1 Curse Merfolk. Does have to ink an Ursula, unfortunately. Let's see, Nathan probably going to want to get that turn to Tipo. Ink a Pirate's Life, so definitely knows about the potential of a turn 2 Ursula, even though Greg did ink one. So going to want to ink those songs as he can. So Nathan inking a song here probably means that he has a second song in hand. That probably means he doesn't have a second song, but he does indeed have How Far I'll Go. So probably just thinks that the Pirate's Life is still the best ink anyway. Doesn't have turn 2 ramp here, unfortunately. So this is looking like a pretty rough start here for Nathan. Let's see what his top deck is. He doesn't get something good. It might just be a Popsicle and pass, and then next turn go for a Brawl. I think a Maui. So just a vision here. So going to look for that ramp, dig a bit deeper. Still doesn't have it, I don't think. Could potentially next turn go for Popsicle and Hideaway as a form of ramp, but not the worst idea. So we do see Greg has the Goofy Hades combo, but just decides to ink that one and sort of go for a more aggressive path with this crab here. Nathan still doesn't have a ramp, so it might just be a Brawl onto the Merfolk here. Yep, that's what we see happen. But just a pass here, so Greg, unfortunately, I think he's running out of inkables here. Otherwise, he would have liked to play that Genie this turn, so unfortunately stuck at 3 Hinky and not able to ink a card from hand. So Nathan potentially bailed out a little bit, but without something like that Super Goof to try and take down some of these characters, might struggle a little bit. This is not where you want to be at the same number of ink as your opponent. Definitely want to be ramping up to get to that Maui half shark. Ink a Tala, yep, so has another Tala, thankfully. This will help sort of control the board a little bit, but Greg's still going to be questing up to 11 next turn and possibly going to get a Genie to come down as well, as long as he doesn't top deck another uninkable. We do see an inkable here, so going to be able to ink that and play the Genie. And then can just quest for 4 up to 11. So Greg putting on the pressure here, and Nathan not having any ramp options. It's going to be quite difficult to come back here. Going to have to take out the bonsai since questing for way too much at the moment. Would have been nice if he had another Maui here at all. Just going to go for the ramp so we can get that shark down next turn, but it might be a little bit too late since Greg will go up to 16 next, or 15 next turn. Potentially another Brawl here on the Genie would be good. Just going to ink 2 and pass. So Nathan's struggling a bit here. I haven't been able to see his hand, so not sure. Might have just been holding onto that let it go a little bit too much, unfortunately. So now Greg's got a lot more inkables in hand thanks to the draw power of these rabbits and genies. Just checking to make sure Nathan can't go down the be prepared next turn, but I believe he said 6, so Greg might need to go a little bit careful on his board here. Not wanting to go too wide, so might hold on to the Chernobog's followers. And just going to quest up to 15. So Nathan here needs a be prepared to really stay in the game here. Yeah, and we do find the be prepared, so Greg will be able to draw one off the rabbit. And then draw one for turn. And it will be interesting to see if he goes for the 6-cost Hades here. Doesn't really have any on the board, so I think you need to sort of wait a bit here. Might even play the go-go down. Just to put some more characters on the board. Since I don't think you'll be getting too much damage on Nathan's board anytime soon. Yeah, I think I would have liked to see the go-go come down as well. Nathan just going to be prepared again. Remove some of those draw options for Greg. Another go-go here, so let's see what he brings down now. Might be playing the Hades for 6 here. Yeah, so we see the go-go come down, but thankfully for Greg not playing it last turn, Nathan did have to be prepared. Nathan, I think, still holding onto that let it go. Ooh, the Tremaine, a spicy attack here for Nathan. Not something we see very often. Nathan might have just done enough to stabilize here. As long as he finds some Pirate's Life. Now we see the Hades come down, so that let it go, we'll be able to take it out. Was that let it go been inked? Might have actually had to ink the let it go, so may have missed that. Maybe didn't have one in a hand at all. Just need to see if Greg quests here. Might just see what options he has to get back from the discard. No Pirate's Life, which is probably what you're mainly concerned about, since one was inked at turn 1. Might just quest with it here since then. However, if Nathan does have one in hand, it could be pretty bad since he could play it, challenge into the Hades with the Maui, and then play it again. Obviously, the concern there is that Gogo would lose the game for Nathan, so might need to find a couple of Porpsicles to heal up as well. We could potentially just grab back a Be Prepared and clear the board again, as Greg looks like he's running a little low on cards in his hand. Take out the Hades, brawl the Genie, and then just have that Be Prepared ready if Greg ever decides to go wide again, but Greg probably wouldn't, so just having that option to keep the board under control as well. You don't even need to play the Be Prepared, just sort of having it in the hand is enough of a threat for Greg. But as we talked about earlier, the concern with having these songs in your hand to save is that at any turn, Ursula can come down and discard them again. I'm quite sure what Nathan has in his hand here, so coming up to 30 minutes left, so plenty of time to finish this game. The players just taking their time thinking through their decisions. Might even just grab something like that brawl back off the Maui. There was an interesting choice here from Greg to quest with the Hades, knowing that Nathan had a brawl in the discard. Taking a challenge into Hades, we'll grab an action back. Does decide to go for the be prepared, so. Oh. Maybe Nathan didn't have a brawl in hand, but potentially just wanting to remove the Maui here so the Go-Go couldn't come down, which he now he has in hand as well, since I don't think he had access to the popsicles. Greg does have 2 Go-Go's, I believe, so might even just should play this Go-Go here just to try and convince Nathan that he doesn't have another one in hand, potentially. Just looking for anything here to keep the board clear. I think he does have a brawl in hand to take out the Go-Go. So at least that'll stop him from winning next turn if he doesn't have a goat or anything like that. Well, we do see another be prepared, so Nathan just holding on for dear life here. Ooh, that library. So Nathan gonna need a hideaway here. As I believe his fishhook and Maui are gone, so that'll be the scoop it up for Nathan there. Just Greg running away with it too quickly. Nathan not having the ramp, definitely a bit difficult to come back, and yeah, not having that let it go option as well to take out some of those characters definitely could have helped bring him back into that game. But Greg going on to the finals there, and he does play against yours truly. So we'll be coming back with that one in the next video. So be sure to tune in for that one. Definitely a good game there. And we'll see you in the next video. Again, if you're enjoying it, like, subscribe so you know when the videos come live, and stay tuned for some more Set 7 content coming in the near future.